Today let us concentrate on some personality development perspective. We will take up some real life case studies where people from scratch have grown to heights. Let us analyze them in a perspective what made them so big. Despite the circumstances they were born, they were brought up, the typical circumstances which otherwise would have made them to stick to the conditions where they were born. Okay, fine. The first example we'll take, I will just tell it in a story model, not like straight away, so that it would be an interactive discussion. It was an early morning, 3 o'clock, and one old gentleman. This story belongs to Andhra. One old gentleman has woke up with alarm, and he took up his cycle and he started traveling to a next village or some place. He was a teacher, and the objective of his waking up in the early morning and going there was to fulfill one of his students' promise that he gave to his student, that the student is going to take up the exam tomorrow, and he asked his teacher, "Sir, could you wake me up tomorrow at 4 o'clock?" And for one student's obligation, you can call it, or the promise he has given to that particular student, he started traveling there. And the student, once after seeing his master, he was surprised because he did not expect him. He was just joking with his teacher, "Sir, would you come and wake me up at 4 o'clock tomorrow?" He was really surprised. And that one incident has changed the complete thought process of that student. When my master was so much committed to my growth, when my master was so much committed to my objectives, why can't I? Why shouldn't I work for myself? And since then, there was no looking back to that person. And the master's name was Surya Narayana. And the person's name is the current RBI Governor, Mr. Duvur Subbarao. We will discuss in this way. So there are so many stories throughout the classes, because whatever we are going to discuss should instigate your adrenaline. Do you know what is adrenaline? Do you know? Have you ever heard about adrenaline? It is a hormone which instigates your emotions. So these kind of stories, these kind of discussions should make you start thinking where we are, where we will be going, and what make us to achieve that particular position. Right? This is just one simple story I would like to start with. And there are so many stories of such real life examples. So let us start with one particular case study. Just wonders don't happen themselves, they have to be created and executed. అద్భుతాలు వాటింతట అవి జరిగిపోవు, వాటి సృష్టించాలి, సృష్టించగలం. This is one example, such example. This gentleman was born in a small village in Tamil Nadu by name Padamalapuram, which was deprived of basic amenities. And I am talking about the year 1930s and 1940s, before independence. That was the time when there was no education, there was no school, there was no transportation, there was no basic water amenities like water or infrastructure, anything in that village. He used to go to school 2 miles away from his village, where there were no slates, no pencils, no pens, nothing. They used to make the sand available as slate and use their fingers as pencils. Okay. So one day he heard cries of his neighbor. He woke his mother up and asked, "Why is she crying?" "She is going to deliver a baby, that's why she is crying," she said. After some time, that lady's cries stopped. He asked her mother what happened. "She died." "Why did she die?" "Because lack of proper health care. There was no doctor at the time, obviously. And for him, in that particular period, that was the third death in his relatives, only due to lack of proper health care. And that was the time he decided, friends, to become a doctor. That was in his school. Every day morning he used to feed his cattle. He used to supply fodder to his cattle. You know what is fodder, right? Then he used to go to school and started reading. He slowly completed his graduation and graduated with medical degree from Stanley Medical College in Chennai in 1944. He graduated in gynecology and obstetrics. You know what is gynecology? What does a gynecologist deal with? What does a gynecologist deal with? Do you have an idea? Tell me. Huh? Yeah, okay. What is about obstetrics? What does the obstetrician deal with? With child problems. There is a specific reason for that particular gentleman to opt for only these two issues, gynecology and obstetrics, because he continuously was seeing deaths of his relatives due to lack of the simple health care during the time of delivery. So that was in 1944, and he served the Second World War, and he joined as a medical corps in Indian Army. If everything goes fine in life, it is not called life. He could not serve in army for more than 4 years. You know the reason why? He was attacked with severe arthritis. Yeah. His fingers, his hands, his legs used to get twisted. అంటే చేతులు వంకరలు పోతూ ఉండే ఆయనకి. Fully 4 years he served in the Indian Army. After that he was hospitalized. But he was just hospitalized. He never stopped thinking. When people surrounding him were pitying on him, no, his time is over. Whatever effort he has done, it has gone to dogs. There won't be any life for this gentleman in the future. But he was thinking what to do next once I go out of hospital. Can anyone expect what he has done? Just think. Yesterday I was discussing about case study approach. Assume yourself in this kind of difficult situation. What you would do if you were there in that position?
Maybe he trained some students.
Maybe he trained for some students. Good possibility. Right. Give him a clap. Right guess. Did you read about him anytime? No, you are listening for the first time. Anyway, right guess. Next. Okay. Again he joined the medical college and he did a post-graduation ophthalmology this time. Ophthalmology. What is ophthalmology? Huh? What does the ophthalmologist do? He treats the problems pertinent to eye care. Eye specialist. An ophthalmologist is an eye specialist. He completed ophthalmology in his college. And he started, as Shravan said, he started training his students. He became a professor, medical professor. Okay. He was, that's what I'm telling. In fact, medical college and post-graduation ophthalmology. Then he joined as a lecturer in Madurai Medical College. And he designed a customized surgical knife and other instruments and started doing surgeries. Because, you know, his hands were were not normal as others. They were getting twisted. So he can't use the same equipment what other doctors were using. He just designed some surgical equipment which suits to his requirements, the customized surgical equipment which suits to his requirements. After turning many students into able doctors, he retired at the age of 58. But do you want to know what he has done before his retirement? Just next slide. Next slide, Meher. By the time he retired, the total number of operations he performed were 1 lakh eye operations. 1 lakh eye operations. And his retirement did not keep him cool. After retiring from his service, what bothered him was the increasing eye care problems. Increasing number of cataract cases. Do you know what is cataract? Huh? Yeah, what do you call it in Telugu? Shuklam, right. So the increasing number of cataract cases in India bothered him. He wanted to address his problem. He did a thorough brainstorming which gave him the solution. Brainstorming is nothing but he went into deep thoughts, how to attack this problem, how to attend this problem. He discussed it with his family members. He wanted to start an hospital. But he was not that rich. He was just a professor and he was not a money-oriented person. Now he started an hospital with the help of his family members, with the acceptance of his family members. He mortgaged his family properties and he borrowed some money from his friends. Now, do you know what is that hospital's name? How many of you here heard about the Arvind Eye Hospital in Chennai? The famous eye hospital in India. Arvind Eye Hospital. Your elders may be knowing that is a very famous eye hospital in India. The lots of complications would be treated there. He started an hospital with 11 beds capacity initially. Just 11 beds. Okay. And records. What did Arvind Eye Hospital do? And from 11 beds, today with one branch in 1976 till 2012, Today it expanded to 5 branches with 3,600 beds, all in 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. Because I am trying to discuss these cases, guys, because we are all born as human beings. We have the same facilities what others have. What do I mean by facilities? I am not talking about the assets, or I am not talking about the rich parents or nothing like that. I took only some cases who are born in damn sick circumstances. From a damn sick circumstance, what a person can become. Because the idea is to make you people think about yourself. If this guy has done this thing, how much I can do? I am completely fit. I have a lot of age. I have my parents who are supporting me. Today there are n number of opportunities, and those were the days when there were no opportunities at all. There was no transportation, there was no internet, there was no technology, but today we have everything. If a person without any facilities, without any abilities can achieve this kind of achievement, then what we can do? Just think. Every individual is same. Every individual has got the same thinking capacity. It only depends, our success only depends upon one factor: how much brain we are using, how much commitment we are having, in what direction we are traveling, whether we are traveling in the right direction or not. Only these things matter. You can make wonders. All the 5-6 stories we are going to discuss is about the same today. Okay? As I said yesterday, the other things apart, whatever it is, how to increase your motivation, how to increase your success, everything you will get in internet. There are thousands of books available in the second hand market. You can just go there, by 40 rupees, 50 rupees bucks, you can buy a lot of books. But whether you really read it or not, because Anil was discussing how many of you read, because I have asked you how many of you read Vijayan Kaidimetlu. But only few. One is that guy, the other one is this guy. He has downloaded. They started reading. There was one popular author, Dale Carnegie. How many of you know him? There was one. He's still there. Sorry, there is one popular author, Dale Carnegie, U.S. author. How many of you have heard about the book How to Win Friends and Influence People? Any of you? Because that is one of the book I wanted to suggest you. I said in the last classes I will tell you what books you have to read, and how to win friends and influence people, and how to be an effective public speaking, how to win friends and influence people. Huh? Yeah, it is available in Telugu also. Now, one good factor for you is that is what I am telling, because when we wanted to read these books, there was a time we never used to get these books outside. Today, you are getting each and every book in Telugu also. There's nothing like that. Ultimately, taking the essence is important, friends. What language? Okay, fine. Reading a book in English obviously helps you. That would help you to increase your vocabulary, that would help you to increase your grammar. Everything is fine. But today you have each and every book in Telugu. The books written by Robin Sharma, the books written by Dale Carnegie, the books written by Norman Vincent Peale, the books written by Stephen R. Covey. A lot of books today they are available in Telugu, vernacular language. That's so. He said one statement: had the number of people who have bought my books have really read them, the world would not have been like this today. There were so many books which were sold. There were so many books written by Dale Carnegie. Lakhs of books were bought by people, but very few people have read them really, and out of them again, very few people implemented what they have read. That really changes, because that's all about your emotional balance. That's all about your thinking, thought process, how to improve your thought process, how to improve your emotional balance, emotional intelligence. Right? Books only concentrate on them. You know what is EQ, right? Have you heard about the term EQ? EQ is emotional quotient. Yesterday I was discussing one small example. If you are traveling on a road, you see a small accident, or some bike rider will come and hit your bike. How do we react to it? That qualifies your EQ. If there is no damage to your bike, if you say, okay boss, fine, no issues, if you go away, that is one kind of attitude. And the EQ in the sense, what we call it in Telugu, emotional quotient. Emotional quotient. EQ stands for emotional quotient. You heard about IQ, right? IQ. What is IQ? Intelligence quotient. 1950s, 60s, 70s was the time when people were tested on the parameter of intelligence quotient. What is this intelligence? Right? But as the years progressed, other things started taking part. Out of them, EQ is one of them. EQ is very important, emotional quotient. Huh?
Sahanam.
Not Sahanam. Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Sthitapragnata. A small story was there. When Arjuna goes to the war and he sees all his relatives, kith and kin there, Bhishma, Dronacharya, his guru, he started crying. Seeing Arjuna crying, Sri Krishna starts crying. Somebody asks him, okay, fine, Arjuna has a reason to cry. Why are you crying? He says, whatever training I have given to Arjuna has gone waste. What I was telling to him, because there is a perfect word in Telugu, స్థితప్రజ్ఞత. స్థితప్రజ్ఞత అంటే ఎటువంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో కూడా మనిషి తొనక్కకుండా ఉండటం. అది సంతోషం కావచ్చు, దుఃఖం కావచ్చు, కోపం కావచ్చు, ఏదైనా కావచ్చు. ప్రాబ్లంలా చూడటం. ఎస్టర్డే వీ వర్ డిస్కసింగ్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. సమస్యను సమస్యగా చూడటం, సమస్యకు రియాక్ట్ అవ్వటం కాదు. అది స్థితప్రజ్ఞ. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ దట్ ఈస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ఎమోషనల్ క్వశ్చన్. వీఆర్ హ్యాపీ టు బి బోర్న్ ఇన్ ఇండియా గైస్, బికాస్ వై ఐల్ టెల్ యూ ద రీజన్. All these hundreds of books, whatever they are writing today by US, UK, others, the essence is being taken by Indian Upanishads, Indian Puranas and Indian Bhagavad Gita, our very own Bhagavad Gita. If you have the patience to read Indian Bhagavad Gita, you can read, it is equal to reading 100 personality development books. Everything is there in Bhagavad Gita. Taking one simple word called Sthitapragnata, that emotional balance. One Daniel Goleman has written a book on emotional intelligence, this much book. And there are dozens of books on emotional intelligence, taking only one word, that emotional balance, what we call in Telugu. So that is the best book. If somebody asks me, what is your best book, I'll tell you Bhagavad Gita, no doubt about it. How many of you have it at your homes? Good. And how many of you read it? Great.
2 years.
You have,
Huh? 2 years.
Okay, but there is a lot of essence, guys. Every para has got an essence. Every para can be written into one book in Bhagavad Gita. That changes your thinking completely. That is the EQ. Okay, so EQ is being given a lot of importance by corporates nowadays, apart from IQ. And there are so many Qs now. There is one SQ, what is called spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient. Okay, and now in the era of technology, one more Q has come, that is NQ, networking quotient. How good are you at networking? I discussed this about in the first class. You remember it, right? Get into your alumni network, build a network with your alumni. Networking quotient. If you are good in building up all these Qs, there's nothing like that. Of course, there are other Qs also, legal quotient, which is not relevant to you, which is relevant to us who are in business. Legal quotient is relevant to us. We need to know what is right, what is wrong. That had these guys who have made from scratch, I'm talking about Namakkar Prasad, who was arrested yesterday. He is also from the same area. Where are you from? From Salapalli region, right? You know him, right? How he started his career, you know him? He finished his BSc. After that, he done his MSc and a management graduation from IM Institute of Management and Technology, Ghaziabad, Bihar. He joined as a sales trainee, management trainee in an Indian molasses company. He started as a management trainee and he became so big in very short time. Today he is behind bars. Why? He was not in a position to decide what is right, what is wrong. He may come out tomorrow, but there was a time when Namakkar Prasad was used to be looked as a role model. People who wanted to get into business used to refer his name. There was a time, 2000, 2001, 2002, when he sold Matrix Labs to Milan, when he made thousands of crores. But today, what is the case? That is the legal quotient I'm talking about. What is right, what is wrong? And I think I am coining this term for the first time. What I feel, the problem is not with legal quotient, but the problem is with ethical quotient. The problem is with ethics. Because this is the term I am coining for myself, because I always believe in ethics. And everyone has to believe in ethics, ultimately, everywhere. That is where these guys are facing problems. Either Ramaling Razu or Namakkar Prasad, or Trimax Prasad, Koner Prasad. All these guys who are 10-12 years back, they were the role models for hundreds of entrepreneurs who are coming up in country. Ramaling Razu was on the international magazines. Namakkar Prasad, in 2 days or 3 days, he has to give a lecture in Stanford University, the best university in the world. Stanford University invited him to give a lecture in 3 days. Today he is behind bars. He has to travel to US to give a lecture. So, okay. So just see his records. 1600 eye camps would be conducted per year, which is a world record, by this hospital, Arvind Eye Hospital. 14 lakhs outpatients are served every year. And most of them are free. Remind guys, most of them are free and at very low cost. It's not a commercial hospital. 2 lakhs cataract operations per annum. Intraocular lens manufactured in this hospital is exported to 100 countries. Intraocular lens used in the eyes,
Contact.
which are expensive, 100 countries they are exporting it. All this by one guy who suffered from severe arthritis, who was bedridden for months together in a hospital, who was not confident whether people were not confident whether he could survive that or not, right? And his name is Dr. Govinda Venkata Swami. Sorry, it is D missed there. His name is Dr. Govinda Venkata Swami. He is popularly known as Dr. V. Okay, he got so many awards. I just mentioned a couple of awards: Helen Keller Award, Padma Shri, and so many national and international awards. Right? A small quote: just see, rather than getting depressed by seeing hassles, if one goes searching for opportunities, doing wonders is not difficult. వెళ్ళేదారిలో ఖచ్చితంగా ముళ్ళు ఉంటాయి, కానీ ముళ్ళును చూసేవాడు ఆగిపోతాడు. నో డౌట్, ప్రతి దారిలో ముళ్ళు ఉంటాయి. We really have to search for solutions, and definitely we can create wonders. This is the best example, and so many examples we'll be discussing today. Another 5-6 examples. Okay. So now it's your turn. What do you feel about the factors that had made this guy so big? I mean, about his thought process or about his whatever it is. You have your own analysis, right? From a deep shit circumstances, he has become so big. What do you feel about it? No, I want you to talk out. No silence. Everyone wants. I want opinion for each and every person.
The environment that they brought up,
Okay.
that motivated them.
Okay.
First of all, everyone every reason in jail not to die.
Okay.
వాళ్ళు ఫేస్ చేసిన ఎవరు ఫేస్ చేయరు.
Okay. Good.
That is the basic.
In the-
Commitment to do something for the.
Good. Because he was born in the same environment where lakhs of people were born stubborn. But only thing is that he looked at the circumstances very differently. He took a different approach. He don't want to be one in hundreds or one in thousands. So no comments from faith gender. Aruna and Bhavana. You are Bhavana, right? Okay. How do you see the case? Because this is a case study approach. We are just going to discuss. Just assume like what if we would have been in the case, in the situation, what we would have done. No, I want you to speak out, guys. I said this is not ekpatra in kadan enne cheptanu meeku. This is not a monologue. This is a dialogue. See, if you don't start speaking out, even after the end of the session, if Ravi Shankar garu comes and try to assess you, he can't assess you because there may be some improvement internally in you. I can understand that. I can see that improvement. Day 1 ki ee roju ki naku difference కనపడుతుంది. కానీ unless and until you express it, we don't know whether you are really whatever effort we are putting, whatever effort you are, whatever the time you are spending is really turning fruitful or not అనేది. So unless and until, see, everyone, the ultimate goal is tomorrow if we conduct a group discussion, I want everyone to speak at least 10 minutes on the given topic. Extempore in the sense without preparation. It's not that, today I will give the topic and ask you to come tomorrow prepared. No. Atlaina parledu. If you are ready to speak Atlaina, I can give you the time. No issues at all. What, Meher? Thumbs up? Water. Okay, fine. No issues. Tell me. You are silent? Analyze the case. What do you feel about it?
కష్టపడితే డే నైట్ సాధించవచ్చు.
Okay, good.
అది ఇప్పుడు మనం సోర్స్ నుంచి డెస్టినేషన్ చేరాలంటే మధ్యలో చాలా ముళ్ళు ఉంటాయి, ఆ ముళ్ళని దాటుకుంటూ వెళ్ళాలి.
Okay. But what made him so? Because I do accept 100%. I do accept his thought process is right. But what is his approach he adopted for that?
I faced this problem. No one
Okay.
should face this problem.
Okay.
That motivated him.
Okay, fine. That was at the initial levels. That was till the point when he graduated with his medical degree, when he joined Indian Army. But after severely getting affected with arthritis, what was his approach? How did he think about it? When his neighbors, when his patients, when his relatives were thinking that his role is over, he cannot do anything further, that was the time again he came back with a bang. Whatever records he has created, he had created only after getting affected with a severe health problem, right?
His self-belief and willingness
Okay,
to serve the
good.
people who are suffering with
No.
lack of money or lack of proper medical care.
Yes, but one thing is that he never recognized the problem. He never gave importance to the problem that he's having. Yes, he's having a problem, arthritis, but he never gave importance to that. He was only thinking about his goals. That never came in his way. That was I'm just trying to bring the reason from him, because we come across lot many people here who says that, sir, we have this problem, we have that problem, I have so many problems. Okay, I used to have one employee. In fact, I'm not blaming him or something like that. I'm just giving an example that how attitudes build up. He came from a very poor family, and just I gave him employment because my objective is only to pick up the people who are from pretty poor families. I wanted to help them out. That's the only thing. The people who are well off, they can be helped by any means. That is not an issue at all. Their relatives would help them, or their brothers and sisters would help them. Sometimes the experiments what we make fail, sometimes they succeed. But this is one experience out of which failed for me. He used to always come out with different reasons. My father was not well, my mother was not well, and my father was poor, my grandfather was poor. One day he said, there was if you remember one movie that came in your, maybe you were not born at the time, Chitram Balari Vichitram, there was one dialogue by Brahmanandam. Tata, నువ్వే కనుక అలా చేసి ఉండకపోతే, something like that. You remember? He said the same thing one day. Had my grandfather not done that, I would not have been this poor. I gave him left, right and center. I just gave him a blast. What the heck? మీ గ్రాండ్ఫాదర్ చేయలేదు, నువ్వెందుకు చేయట్లే ఇవాళ? నువ్వు ప్రూవ్ చేయి. నీ తర్వాత జనరేషన్స్కి నువ్వు రోల్ మోడల్గా నిలబడు, నువ్వు కష్టపడు. యు ఆర్ గివెన్ అన్ ఆపర్చునిటీ. He is from the same region where we all come from actually. From the same region actually. Okay, that is the problem, because he always recognizing problems. He's always recognizing problems. He's always giving importance to those problems. That is the issue there. Yes, problem attend avvali. We have to attend problem as a problem, but we have to treat them only as problems. Don't give more importance to that. That's what we can learn from this. And there is no limitation to whatever it is. Today, if some of you may be thinking, getting into Microsoft may be difficult. No. There is one simple technique which I will tell you. How many of you want to get into Microsoft or any other such company? Please lift your hands. ఇప్పుడు ఫ్రేమ్ చేసుకున్నారా, ముందే ఫ్రేమ్ చేస్తున్నారా గోల్? ఇప్పుడు నేను సజెషన్ ఇచ్చాను, ఫ్రేమ్ చేస్తారు లేదు కదా? ఓకే, అంతేనా? మిగతా వాళ్ళంతా ఎక్కడ? యూ వాంట్ టు సెటిల్ ఇన్ ఇన్ఫోసిస్? హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సెటిల్ ఇన్ ఇన్ఫోసిస్? సో వాట్ ఎవర్ యువర్ గోల్ ఈస్ గైస్, begin with end in the mind. Do you understand the point? Begin with end in the mind. If you want to work in Microsoft, every day you start assuming that you are in the Microsoft environment. You are doing work for Microsoft. You start assuming that one day you will definitely get it. You do this practice, even after 10 years you get in touch with me, tell me, sir, this experiment worked, I would be happy. Just begin with end in the mind. I am going to achieve it. Come what may, that doesn't matter. Right? That was the reason with the very first class I asked your goals. I don't know how many of you framed till date. How many of you have framed goals? We also discussed about procrastination. Procrastination kills aspiration, and procrastination kills confidence. Kills. What is procrastination? I told you it's capable of postponement. Don't postpone the things. I asked you to write the goals. I want the goals. That's it. Without goals, you are not going to anywhere. ధ్యేయం అనేది లేకుండా ఏం చెప్పినా కూడా అది సోదితో సమానం, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. సోది అంటే తెలుసు కదా మన బాగా. దేనికన్నా ధ్యేయం ఉండాలి. ధ్యేయం లేకుండా ఏది చేసినా సోదితో సమానం అది. జస్ట్ రిమెంబర్, కీప్ ఇట్ ఇన్ మైండ్. సో టుమారో every one of you is going to come with 3 goals: short term, medium term, long term. In my view, short term is what you want to be after 1 year, what you want to be after 5 years, what you want to be after 10 years. And you would be starting from tomorrow onwards. That means starting in the sense you would be thinking from tomorrow onwards what you want to be and how to reach there. Once you frame your goals, you start thinking and see the difference. Okay, agree? You are coming out with goals tomorrow, and you are coming out with the e-copy of the book I suggested. I suggested one book. What's your name? Jagdish. I suggested one book written by Ennamur Virendranath, Vijayaniki 5 Metlu. Okay, I suggested all these people to read that book first. So you download the book tomorrow. That was one of the first personality development books. which sold lakhs of copies not only in English, in Telugu, but Kannada, Tamil and Hindi. Okay, and that is a book written on the inspiration, inspired from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay, but he mentioned it as which are five steps to success. Okay, right?